Alrighty. It is that time for more game dev work on the same game dev channel of TheMainStark and Ruins of Tearyn. Let's go to our Newbie. And I know exactly what I'm going to do here. Just open up this and this. I'm going to make it a very basic. That might have something here I can use. What does that look like? No. I think they have a rectangle something. Excuse me. You look like a fantastic boy, child. Yep, that's not it. Wait, it might be doable on that one. Okay, this might work. Go like so. What is the default size of this thing? 1024 by 256. So let's increase by 600 to 150 maybe. Anchor this to the middle. Or actually, just anchor to the top middle. So, negative. That's the wrong way. Okay. Getting there. These guys can all move up a tad. Okay. And then this guy, duplicate. Like so. I gotta put these back down. Maybe I just close it a little bit here. Pause at the top side. 585, 90. I think that's pretty good overall. I might just have to increase the size of this window now. I'll just do like 650. Which changes everything, of course. All right. All right. I think that's good. And then I can just do a blank image for like a divider. All right. This guy is image header background. This guy is image. Oh, so this is image header. And then this guy is image header background. And then this guy just gonna try and do like this thin. Anchor to the bottom middle. And I think it's 1400. No, 1200. Is it image border bottom? Just choose a goldish color. Image border top. This is for a list. And we'll do like what, -50. Need more than that. Okay, I think that's good. I just wanted something a little bit more polished on the registry UI, because it is kind of like one of our core features. So, um, yeah. I'm going to just restart again. That turned out pretty good. I don't know why this one's so much more weird in quality level. That's the one I did export. Maybe I didn't save it properly. Um, okay. 300, 256. Why didn't that change? This is double, so 300, 256 by 512. So weird, it's the same file. Yeah, this one was, it's like rendering like complete shit. It looks like it's kind of fine there. Is it because I did the whole, let me compare these two. Ah, this needs to be UI. That's what it is. UI, user interface. probably does it. Yeah, it's looking smoother now. All right, hit play. Yeah, it's better now. All right, need to move that up slightly. Okay. And I could do this list border left. And we're just going to go oh, it's gonna be like 2 and 800. Change the color to like a gray. And yeah, so size Y1 probably. That's hilarious that it actually popped into the perfect spot randomly. Okay, this gives that little tiny edge we need. And then this I don't care about. Because it gets swapped as soon as you click on something, and it gives like a little background. Yeah, there we go. Alright, switched up some basic buttons. Got some sound effects going. I need my sound effects in my headset. Got the background there. This goes here. More sound effects. So it's feeling a little bit more, you know, refined and polished. As a more, again, this is going to be one of our core features in systems. And so far, everything there is working. And yeah, that's one of my systems done for the test. Let's go get my patch notes up. Yep, it's all there. Okay. Alright, I'm stoked. That part's done. That was kind of a part I didn't really want to care about. I can do that quick command line. What is the command line for Unreal Network Profiler command? What's it called again? Alright, so let's go to the player controller. And we will do net profile. Just make it. And then over here, we're going to do a simple. I know this is like looking pretty terrible right now, but just haven't really cared about cleaning this up yet. Console command net profile enable. Oh, I could do this. We'll get the second part, which is 1. And then we will do a delay. And then the profile disable. But I will throttle this, or clamp range, float, clamp, float. A minimum of like 3, I'll say, and a max of like 30. Like 30 is probably way too much, but because it can really hogwash. Actually, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm just gonna do 5 seconds. I'm not even gonna do that. Just 5 seconds. Because you get massive data dumps for this stuff. And so I do need to test this later on with to make sure it saves and when PlayFab stuff, when the server closes down, I get the right files and stuff. Oh, I'm so sorry for coughing into the mic like that. Alright, let me just give this a test. Yeah, I guess I should just print. Network profiling start. And see where if it's actually going somewhere in Tearyn. Yeah, I think this is I think that worked. Yep, it's working. Yeah, maybe I will implement the just in case, whatever. Oops. Clamp, access, clamp, float. Do a minimum of 3, max of like 60. Or I'll do 5 minimum. So if I just type net profile, I'll do a 5-second profile. And if I go to the engine, net profile, I can't remember how you run the network profile. Profiler. Unreal network profiler. Profiler.exe. Create shortcut. Alright, this is the profiler. Back to my project directory. Saved. I can't remember if I could just drag and drop. Yeah, there it is. Okay. You can see the different MMO actors. All right. So that seems to have been working. So once again, if I just do a net profile, or profiling started, 4, 5, and a net profile, we'll say like 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that's done. So hopefully I can get a good amount of data from the event. The next playtest at least. We'll figure things out. Alright. So I could do a lore track on that. So now I'm at the point of what do I want to do today. I think I might do some of the easy stuff here. I mean, most of this is kind of easy, but most of this is like data entry stuff. I think I can knock out most of this today right here. Let's just start with requiring a crafting station. So I'm going to save all. I'm going to submit. Close out and restart the editor. I'm just so when you modify, there's like a bug in Unreal, like when you modify a data table, it tries to like update all the data tables in your project. And because I have so many data tables, it causes crashes with Unreal. So you want to basically clear your cache. or I should say it updates everything in memory that it has. And so if you have a lot in your memory, it starts to screw up, and so it's just safer to do it this way. Okay, what am I doing again? Crafting. So we need to go to the crafting component. And the crafting, we're going to need a, I probably could go over the, I guess just use the actual crafting. Oh, it doesn't show here, okay. So I probably could do it just through, let's open the crafting component. Okay. So we obviously start with a craft request from the client. So right away we have the trade skill. So we can start with this first. And then you have each of these. This can just literally be a create a function. Function check for crafting station. We success or crafting found branch. If it's true, we continue. If it's false, actually, yeah, I'll probably put it in here. This can be trade skill. And then the other thing is, I think I want to set up smelting as a trade skill. Add smelt. Nice. Add smelting. Add smelting trade skill. So woodworking, we don't require anything because it's kind of survivalist skills. I guess some might, like cooking, but cooking would just require a campfire, so that's fine. Alright, let's just go ahead and add the... Actually, let's just go ahead and so we're going to do... Let's bring up the level. level, Newbie yard. Gonna bring myself right here. These are just whatevers. We're going to make a new actor. Actor, trade skill, station. Master. Just simply going to have a variable. That's not a variable. Variable for trade skill. And a static mesh. We'll do an arrow as the default. Then a static mesh. And that's pretty much it for the master. Oh, we will need a. Give me 1 second. We need an interface. Interface. Actor. Skill station. And this will be get station type. The return of trade skill. Okay, and then now we're going to create a child. This one's going to be the tanner, right? What's the tanning? Is it even called a tanner? Is it called a tanner? tannery, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Ban the bot. I guess Tanner. Sure. I don't know. Duplicate. We will do. I guess I don't even need that. I don't even. So I'll just do tailoring or whatever. I'll try and make it accurate. Loom. We have the Tanner, the loom, the forge, the anvil, the campfire, the alchemy station. Oh, alchemy is fine. Ability crafting, I do have to add that too. I need a war arcane, maybe arcane knowledge, arcane. Let's pick something a little bit random. Arcane studies, arcane research. Oh yeah, hey Dave. Yeah, I appreciate your comments on that today. So that's a side project that I've shelved for a while now. Basically, I was like, we were prototyping a lot of things before, and actually that game was actually called Ruins of Tearyn before this was, and so we were just doing a lot of random prototypes at the time, and I stumbled upon the kind of grid, the whole grid action combat grid system that you saw there, and we kind of tried to polish it up a little bit, as kind of like what you saw there. We also like Epic at one point, I think last year sometime, did a like call to like a call for submissions for mobile games for the Mega Grant, and so we took that game and we basically were, because it was already a kind of very optimized game, also made it mobile friendly, and that's kind of what we went with for a submission and stuff. And so we have these, like, we have the big project, the Indie MMO project, but then we have that one as well. And so I was just kind of like gauging what people thought of the whole action combat grid system with that little playtest that Vimlark did. So I mean, I think it's pretty cool. But I've submitted it to publishers, and no one's taken the bite just yet. And so it's kind of frustrating, right? Like, as an indie dev trying to get a project funded, you're just constantly pulled in all these different directions, and then you like submit stuff, and it doesn't gain traction financially. So it's like, should I even be building this further? You know? So yeah, it was rad. I like the idea for level design. Have rooms and levels completely created with from the squares moving up and down, almost like an upgraded version of Bastion from Supergiant. Absolutely. And so like there's a lot of reminiscence. Like I kind of stumbled upon the whole thing. I don't even remember how I got there, but I was doing some sort of grid system, and then I was playing around with effects, and I just randomly created this effect because of my combat system through vertical third. I integrated the grid system to that, and then when I hit play on doing that, like just a standard explosion, this effect happened, and these things just like floated up so nicely, right? And I'm like, holy shit, this has got to be a game, like right here, this is it. Um, and so it is a very cost-efficient game to do because we wanted to do the isometric view type thing. Um, give me 1 second. I have a special needs daughter, and they're spamming me and blaring their iPad at me. Um, and so it's a very cost-efficient game. And like sometimes at some points, like we're very multiplayer, you know, focused developers, so we were pitching it as a multiplayer game. But the recent pitches we've done is more single player. Um, but it's like, hey, publishers, we wanted to do a typical roguelike in this style, and we thought that would be enough to gain interest because it is very visually appealing. It's got a cool hook to it and a cool like mechanic to it, but no one budged so far. But it is one of like it's like probably it is probably my go-to like second and third project I'm trying to continue to chip at. Gaming is shifting to single a lot right now. The last multi that was a hit seems to be Arc. Yeah, I know. Um, I'm a big believer in like treat your game launch like a 90 or a 2000s game, and have a single player thing with a multiplayer as a feature. Um, that's kind of like how I like to look at it. Um, like the Diablo 2 style stuff. Like, hey, there's this campaign you can do solo, but then there's the multiplayer version as well. Um, and so I still fully believe that a game, like I really enjoyed Genshin as a game. Just hated that like there was no co-op, and obviously it's a gacha multi. Like the monetization is terrible, and so I fully believe that a game that can hook people in, but then you have to like unlock all these characters in just gameplay kind of wise, or even like loot, like gacha characters can be dropped as loot. Um, like I feel like that could be a really like try and prove that a gacha game doesn't have to be evilly monetized. Um, it's kind of what I feel like at least. So we are trying to like it's like a very like all of those assets and stuff are obviously play like marketplace assets and things, but um, the idea of like a Animal Crossing roguelike in that action combat grid system is kind of where it's going with all these unique um, kind of creatures you can collect. I've always been a fan of Coach co-op style. Castle Crashers had a fun way to unlock weapons and characters. Yeah, and there's a lot of people trying to do like the co-op roguelike stuff. Um, there was that one I can't remember there was a Hades like a very like copied Hades look game um, that was co-op. I think co-op only or something like that. Um, I think it launched decently. I don't think it like blew up, but um, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, and so like as indie, being like going back to that like push and pull of everything. with New World dying, Ashes of Creation dying. Um, I think it's a few like the obviously the Lord of the Rings MMO got canceled or like supposedly got canceled. I guess there's like not unofficially canceled, but everyone's fired from it. But um, and like all these other MMOs and stuff getting canceled were like, well, hey, maybe we really should just double down on Ruins of Tearyn um, to try and get some sort of traction there, and because like there's a market opportunity now, and on top of that, like as when you're pitching games, you're trying to look for potential comps for your game compared to other games that could be like similar and show that they can be successful. And then with Ashes dying, Project Gorgon has had its like heyday moment, right? And so now we have an indie MMO comparable that was predominantly a two-person team and a husband and wife team, which is what we are, have success. So there's a lot of like provable points there, right? Um, and um, it's life of indie dev, trying to get something funded in this shitty time of funding. And it's just like, oh, there's an opportunity here. Oh, there's an opportunity here. It's like, oh, we pitched that, but why didn't no one like it? Or why didn't no one want it? Is it really come down to the art style and like the fact it's not like markup, custom assets? It's like, guess what? Custom assets cost money. I've never had it. It's very rough. It sucks. Yeah, it very, very much sucks. Um, because a lot of like sometimes our feedback is like we don't understand the game, you know, and it's like it's literally a roguelike with these cool like with this visual esque thing and the action comic grid system. Like, do I really need to explain more? And like we built out the demo and like here's some gritty like the juice of the gameplay feel and how the attacks work and like can you just use your imagination to picture different characters, different rewards, different loot, different things like that. Um, but it's just the constant feeling that publishers just want more and more and more before they give a yes, right? And by that time is like, do we even need publishers at that point? I've been working on one item for like 8 hours today, and it's a stupid ball. Is it like a game you're working on? What's the game about? Zelda clones, SNES style, cool. Always good. On HFL route, if you're curious to look. Okay, I'll take a look. Oh, nice. You got a cool look going. Like this is like this like this again. It's like sort of like I like to always talk about like elevated, like old art forms that are elevated a little bit. And so this to me feels like a little bit in that direction of elevated pixel art. And so like we're trying to like our future art style is going to be very we're trying to target like elevated low poly. Yeah, art does take forever, I know. Um, yeah, this is looking good. Like we have obviously Cinti Studio assets right now, but I've been like fiddling with stuff, and so this is my current my first like very again I'm not 3D modeler. My very first draft at like a elevated low poly look, and so that's how it's looking without the or that's with like Cinti assets and stuff, but and like taking that low poly look but creating actual like anatomy out of it, so to speak. And so it's on the way. PS1 and 64 art style is up and coming right now. Yeah. And so like basically after we finish this, it'll be like I'll be doing a big reevaluation on what to focus on next after this end of month playtest. And if you didn't know, we're doing a playtest at the end of the month for Ruins of Tearyn, which is free to free to try or whatever. The links pinned for the demo download on the Epic Game Store. Um, Loom. Um, but yeah, after this playtest coming up, I'm trying to give it another big push. Um, and I'm very much hoping like I get enough people logged in to make a new trailer. What the heck is this not working? Okay, there we go. No, this is completely different. Like that's just a completely separate project. Um, on our YouTube, like we sort of yeah, this is completely different game. Like this is our YouTube, and I explain a couple of the combat stuff here, but this as an MMO, like it's a very different market, right? And the thing we're trying to do is so it's like EverQuest, and we say EverQuest and World of Warcraft had a baby, but modernized to player expectations of today's day. And so our main like kind of like core thesis is one slowing down combat, um, making sure that you can talk during combat. So in order to talk during combat, you have to have slow combat, and removing having to button mash during combat. We don't Kino sewers. Oh my god, I died in there so many times, man. Oh dear lord. I think my first character was what is it, Erudite cleric, and went exploring and died down there so many times. Um, Kinos or Quanos, however you want to spell it or sound it. Um, yeah, I don't think we'll do proximity chat. There's a lot of pros and cons to that, and um, I don't think I want. I'm debating it. I don't know. There's so many debatable points on it, like because I think I have to look into like the regulations on that. Like maybe it's there, but it's like opt-in, um, because like the whole like Europe rating stuff, child safety rating stuff, like how does that change the rating of your game? All those things. So that's why. And like I've been through New World, and like there was a lot of trolls on New World with it, and um, there's something about it that I just don't like. But I know that there's a huge potential for memes, right? Like Arc wouldn't be Arc if it wasn't for proximity chat. So I know there's a huge pro and there's huge cons. It's like it's so hard to decide. Um, yeah, true. It seems just to be an auto win button right now for multiplayer, maybe party channel. Yeah, I know. It's like it's hard to decide on which one to do. What is this? Woodworking. All right, anvil. But yeah, so going back, so our core thesis: slow down combat. Um, ability to talk, like and type and chat while doing combat. So that means you need to be sitting there, not doing too much at times. And so that rolls into. I guess I'll just show you. I'm literally working on our newbie yard, and that's literally what this whole new area is kind of about. And then, but so I enjoyed New World quite a bit, but it it got to the point. There's always something that made me stop playing New World. Um, and then there was also when I started to get back into it right before it closed, this meta of, and like you even see it in the new WoW expansion, that you just pull everything and spell or melee cleave. It's just pull everything and AoE everything down. And I just hate that kind of style of gameplay. We want to be like EverQuest, where you're very focused on crowd control. So we have Enchanter, class. We're going to endorse a lot of like kiting for druids and hunters or archers, whatever you choose. Um, Necros can fear kite if they have a snare. These things, charming, right? Do a lot of those things. But the core thing here is that I played vanilla, so I really like the sap, sheep, root, etc. Yeah, exactly. And in Burning Crusade in dungeons, you had to do a lot of crowd control until you, like in heroic dungeons, like that stuff hit hard, um, and you really had to use crowd control properly. Otherwise, you just die on trash. But the core idea here is so your auto attack is giving you combo points. We might rename them to something else later. Um, But obviously, the higher amount of combo points you have, the more powerful your spell will be. Hey, Paxian. And so I'm on a rogue right now. It's a little bit easier to explain as a mage. But if you have a fireball, you do a combo point 1 fireball. It's just a direct damage. Combo point 2 fireball is going to be a direct damage at a dot. And a combo point 3 fireball will be your area effect damage with an area effect dot. But as you know, playing EverQuest, you might not want to use an area effect in that kind of moment, right? There might be lots of things mezzed. So it's going to be very key moments where you actually choose to use that based on your abilities. And so it's kind of trying to be very chess-oriented of thinking about what you're going to use in the next 5 seconds and then planning to use it properly. And so picking and choosing the right spell or ability for the right time. And, sure, there might be some abilities like the rogue, maybe backstab is literally just damage boost, you know? And then your auto attacks every 5 auto, there's no like random crit chance in the game. Every 5 auto attacks will give you a guaranteed crit. So you're kind of like saving up and storing your big damage ability for a key moment where the boss is weak or when it's turned, like you can do more damage from behind. And so we're trying to have that mentality of so you just keep auto attacking, and that's part of the iteration. Like so, that's the part of the iteration. So like if I keep auto attacking, it'll reset to 1 if I don't choose to use it at 3. So it's 3, fireball 1, fireball 2, fireball 3. Oh, I don't want to use it yet, or I use a different spell, and so it rotates. It's rotating. And so my first iteration was your abilities would change your combo points. But I found that you have a little bit of lack of control over what to use. And then I'm also tying in the WoW stuff of like, depending on your combo points, how many you have, like a rank 1, or a combo point 1 ability will be like more mana efficient, whereas combo point 3 ability will be less efficient. So it's like the rank 1 spells type of stuff in WoW. And so I'm like playing with like how do you properly again, this is still like my first version of like I've done like one major iteration of my first kind of combat designs on these kind of theses that I have. So you said, so what if you have 3 points but do not want to do the AoE? How does it know? You could save up 3 and drop 3 level 1 attacks in a row, like fire 3 fireballs. No. So if you have 3 combo points and you used your fireball, it would be an area effect fireball, right? But you could use a different spell that's not a fireball, right? Like you have a dot, and you could use your max rank dot. Or if it's like a long fight, you might be only wanting to use rank 1 spells to be more mana efficient, you know. And so um, I'm still not 100% satisfied that like your auto attacks are going to be what rotates your combo points out. But it's just things we're trying and playing with. But the thing that I like about the auto attack is it lets you just auto attack, and this is that idea of slower paced combat and letting you talk while you're doing your auto attack, and understanding when you need to use your ability at the right moment in time. And so it's kind of rotating through which ones you want. And so the combo points have to increase like passively somehow, because I don't want like an extra button or stuff to do that. So it's either I do like, you know, a QER for like to do a combo 1, combo 2, combo 3, and increases through your ability use, or it's like through auto attacks right now, type thing. Just brainstorming. Could have almost a chat wheel to pick your ability. Maybe a wedge where if you have 3 and hold down the mouse, number gauge shows 1, 2, 3, and you can be like blast, blast, level 1. Then you're out, and maybe delay between. That would get, I think, a bit too clunky from a controls perspective. I think that would just be too clunky. It has to have that game feel of you push a button and it uses the ability. Otherwise, it just feels terrible, you know. I experienced that with just New World, and just weapon swapping is just too clunky. Having to have one button to switch weapons and get your other 2 abilities, that drove me bonkers. I wish I just had a hotbar of 6 abilities, and I'd push one and it would switch to that weapon. Because the game feel just goes down to the floor when you have something like that. But yeah, so there's just some experimentation that we still need to do. But it's the idea of, and like right now, a lot of times in boss fights you have that moment of like, oh, you stunned them X amount of times, and now they're like stasis, or like, what is it called? I can't remember they're burdened or not stunned, but well, whatever. Whatever the effect is, where you stun something so many times, and then they're like, oh, they're kneeling on the ground for a while. Staggered. They're staggered. There we go. And so they're staggered, and then they're taking extra damage because they're staggered for 3 seconds. So obviously you want to save your crit and your big damage ability for when they're staggered. You know, so you want to hold your spells until that moment of stagger, and then use them. So healing is still there's a few niches that we're having with the system, and I still have to I have to fix a few things for this new system, but like I said before, it used to be you just use your abilities to increase the combo points, but the enchanter doesn't have an auto attack. I'll show you. Let me switch my character. I have to log into PlayFab here. Hold on. I have to change my class in the cloud. 1 second. All right. So the enchanter doesn't have an auto attack. And so there's going to be some customization on this stuff for specific classes. And obviously casters are a little bit like that. Now the mage has an auto attack that's basically like a WoW wand, right? So that works for the mage just fine. The enchanter originally, it just has a phantom pet or whatever you want to call. You'll probably remember that, right? And so before it, your abilities were increasing your combo point, and that's how you would get different combo points and stuff. But in my new system, which I've changed like this month, now the enchanter can't actually increase their combo points because I haven't attached all that up. And same thing for the cleric. The cleric is a mace, wielder, and so obviously you don't want your clerics going up there auto attacking. And so I'm thinking about making it like a meditation for the cleric itself, like a meditate thing, and there might be some very specific mechanics to how the cleric meditates. It might be a much faster meditate compared to other classes, and that's how you increase your combo points through that. And so it kind of facilitates that EverQuest feeling of the cleric sitting down and constantly wanting to continue to regen mana faster and whatnot. And then while you're meditating, it's almost like a mage, a WoW mage, like evocation. You're constantly trying to get more mana, and in the process, you're also getting new combo points and stuff. Right now, it's just sit. It's rest. So you hit X, it sits you down, and it's like there's basically standard regen, just you standing up. You have X regen. Sitting down in combat, I think doubles that regen, and then out of combat, your regen is more of like almost like a small consumable food type thing. We still have consumable foods in the game, but it's like a lightweight out of combat. So it's like that's what we talk about, like how we're modernizing it a little bit, and we don't want you to sit there for 10 minutes and fight two things and then sit back down for 10 minutes, So we're trying to instill some of those things. But yeah, that concept of meditating with a book type thing is like probably where we're going to lean towards, with at least for this phase with clerics and stuff. And I might even do that for the enchanter too, because enchanters also want to mez a lot or sit a lot. But the enchanter, I do want to be a bit more of an active class, because like you're kind of standing a lot and making sure you can mez and buff people and those things. And I did like right now your enchant weapons. It actually has 3 different pets. So your first rank of it is the tank pet. The second rank of it is a 2-handed pet, and the third rank is a dual-wielding pet. And so it gives you that option of, maybe the 2-handed pet has a bash and can interrupt. The dual-wield pet could be the most highest, damage output pet. Those type of things. I need to make sure I think I have all this down. I think enchanter. I need to make sure cleric is here too. And so the cleric might get an auto attack, but and potentially has an option to increase through that, but also have a separate meditate that also increases it. It's called Evocation of WoW Mage. You can go in meditative state or gain mana and health over time. Fixed percentage, 50% fishing off, and 60%. Yeah. It'd be cool if they each had their own, like a healer researching in a book, an enchanter levitates while sitting down, a druid, I don't know, touch grass, yeah. Or roots come up wrapping around their legs. Yeah, so definitely like really playing with like just having an auto attack in the game, and then right off the bat, as I started to do the enchanter stuff, having no auto attack on the enchanter automatically makes it like very different from other classes. And so it's like, and like there's a chance that maybe everyone just gets a rotation of like every 2 seconds you get an upgraded thing. But I want there to be more player agency with it and player choice around how they're controlling these like 3 combo points. And part of the combo point system too is we're locking you very EverQuest-y. We're locking you in with 8 abilities, right? technically 9 with your auto attack. Um, but with the combo system, we can have you're going to be able to customize how each one of those abilities do things, right? And so through items and through talents, you can change the combo point 1 ability, the combo point 2 ability, the combo point 3 ability. So you actually have 24 abilities at your disposal with 8 buttons. Um, and then through your builds and like your equipment, all those things, you'll be able to modify and change these things all over the place. So you can get um, really, the theory crafters can go wild. Builds can come out be very different. Um, this is maybe enchant weapons. You could have a different pet, right? Like maybe you actually have to turn this into charm to do a charm pet, um, and those type of things. And then the 1, 2, 3 combo points affects the duration and the strength of it. Um, you can swap out buffs and things, and like all that aspects of things. So there's a lot of like we want a sprinkle of action, ARPGs, right, for your different builds you can do, and that's how you're going to have a lot of class diversity. And then too many ideas, too many ideas. Uh, we've been thinking about this for a long time. Okay, a very long time. Okay, I'll catch you when you get back. Um, and just in general, like I have so much fun games just theory crafting, right? And so I think that's something that lacks a lot in MMOs. It's just everything has become cookie cutter, and theory crafting adds a lot of discussion um, uh, into things. And so, yeah, there's lots of ideas. The number one thing I always say for my design philosophy is um, have you need to have your core thesis of what you want to achieve, and then implement ideas that support that thesis. And like before I made the combat change, it was already feeling a little bit too button spammy, and I think I need to like extend cooldowns longer. Everyone might use mana, even warriors and stuff, so you have to manage, do resource management stuff. Um, a lot of these things, and so lots of balance tweaking to do, um, and yada yada yada. Alchemy, anvil. That's not what I want. But yeah, um, I don't think the MMO genre has ever been in short supply of ideas, right? Um, it's trying to figure out if they work or not is the key. That goes back to a lot of like we have so much of our work done for us because we have our own tech vertical third, and so it's really a lot of our stuff is about a lot of the work we're doing is very focused on design. I'm just gonna put that for now. Aye. I'm trying to be kind of quick with this because this stuff is like not my forte. Hello? That's awkward. You said the weird. All right, moving on. Okay. Um, why are these showing up? So weird. Need to reload the level? Interesting. Alright, well, I screwed that up. Alright, I'm gonna do... guess I'll do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Why is it doing this now? This is very strange. Ah, okay. That's why I screwed up. I think. OMG, dude. What's going on? Alright, okay. Alright. Let's get that guy in there too. Okay, where is my research center? But yeah, overall, again, we have a good plan and direction of where we're going. It's going to take just putting some stuff in the game and trying it, seeing how we like it, and progressing forward from there. Okay, that one's in. That one's in. This I don't think we need, right? Maybe we do. There you go. Blacksmith. This is just a prop. Alright, so it did that one already. And then finally a campfire. It's a touch big. I don't know if this effect is going to scale properly. A lot of them don't. I can't tell if that's too big. What do you think? Maybe a little. Maybe the food might burn a little. That it's a hunch. Yeah, it doesn't change size. Oh well. I'll figure it out later. I can't tell if that's the same effect. Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so the main point of all this is when you craft something, we need to trace for one of these things. And so blacksmithing. I sort of I'm just going to keep this. Maybe it gets more complex later, but for now, I'm just going to do this. Sphere trace for objects. Now I could simplify this with its own collision. Would be the worst thing in the world to do that. Let's go to project settings. Collision. We'll do a trace channel for trade skill station. Do I have the thing checked out? Check out. Sometimes this doesn't save, so I need to, before I start setting it, I need to save that, close out. This is because perforce can be weird sometimes with it. And edit, not editor, project settings, and collision. And so see, it didn't take it. New trace channel, ignore, and it's trade skill station. So I probably have to check it out first. And then add it. Back to product settings, back to collision, trade skill station is there. Now I can open up the master and the static mesh. Technically, we're going to put in a collision box. Attach the root. And I can modify that in each one, but this one is going to be custom. A static mesh is fine, but we are going to block trade skill traces. Save all, and now we need to open up all of these. Can be a little bit decent with the area. Lots of just random data entry day for the most part. This isn't really any type of crazy code level of things. Okay, I don't need that tall really. Out more. Oh yeah, in the master as well. We want to set query only. That should be good. All right. I think that's good. Back to the crafting component. Get owner. And then this will probably be able to get actor. Put this whole thing into its own function again. Trace, not for object sphere, trace by channel. Radius of maybe 600. We don't want it too far. Trade skill session. And for each. Do for each break. Actually, I won't need to because I can make this another function. Trace. Do an output of success. All right, for each with break. Actually, I don't even need break. Yeah, for each. All right, so I need to first up. Okay, so this is tracing for only things that get hit. This is why I did the collision check. That are crafting stations. So if there's a hit, we automatically know it is a crafting station. It can't be anything else. So that's why I implemented its own thing. And so right away, we can do get trade skill station type. And then we'll add a input here, trade skill. And then that becomes a local variable. That's the wrong one. Okay, did I screw that up? Let's do I trade skill, and it's a trade skill. Enumeration. Alright, trade. If they equal each other, then we will return success. And if we don't find one, we're going to return false. And if you didn't know, we do a type of for each loop in a function. And if you basically, like sometimes you do a for each loop with break, right? You can instead go through true, which would normally do your break, but instead hit the return node, and it'll actually stop the function right there. And cancel it all out. So you don't have to do like any weird shenanigans with dealing with a break and then like other code to facilitate the break. That type of thing. So go back here, and now we might only need to do that. And so now, because I've set it up, this is like just, you can tell, clean code stuff. I might only need that. And then false, we're going to get owner. Yeah, we could just do this. I'll just do something basic for now. There is no crafting station nearby. Alright, I should have plenty of things to just try crafting. Or I guess I should just, oh, brother. Oh, bother. Action world, spawner loot world. Get some ore. And I don't know if these ones, alchemy. I think I need power, spice, herb, T0, and then snow. And then I guess meat or steak. Alright, so we go blacksmithing. We have this, so Oh, I did want to check the trace. Engage the range. Oh, did I may have not set them up there. Defaults. Okay. So why is that showing up over there? Oh, because of the box. Okay. The box is actually kind of huge because I've scaled those up. So as a result, I need to scale these down to their original size. And then within this, scale this up. All right. So 600 is like way too far. Let's do like 300. Even that's a little too far. I want it to feel like you're actually at the dang crafting station. Okay. Did I make it the wrong ore? Okay. I think I gotta make these a little bit tighter then. Yeah, a little bit of snoozies here. Blacksmithing. I have a dog outside. that acceptable? Okay. Good enough. Leatherworking. Alright, I do have to check. Make sure it doesn't work on this one. Alright, so now into alchemy. There we go. Why are these all jacked? That's weird. Alright, I think I've reached the end of my stream. I am fighting to keep my eyes open here. So thank you for everyone for watching. I'll be back either later tonight or tomorrow sometime. I might just stand up and walk around a little bit and do some off-stream work. I did yesterday. I got the whole Registry of Chronicles kind of like touched up a little bit, so it's at least doesn't look like so much of a default window. And eventually, I'll probably turn a lot more windows into this style as a direction to start with, and then later on, we'll eventually have like more custom art and stuff for all these things. But it's a direction, and yeah, we're chugging along. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.